Disability is an impairment that may be cognitive, developmental, intellectual, mental, physical, sensory, or some combination of these. It substantially affects a person's life activities and may be present from birth or occur during a person's lifetime.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Quran Weekly. This is your brother Umar Sulaiman. And it was even a sense of competition to take care of those that were disabled, especially those that lived in the less accessible parts of Al-Madinah. Companions would try to go and serve those people and take care of them. Now, we go a step further, and this is really where I want to try to bring it home. You know, when we're talking about the reward of taking care of these people, number one, if you look at all of the ahadith where the Prophet ﷺ talks about the reward of visiting and caring for the sick, they are phenomenal. 70,000 angels accompanying you on the way to and from visiting a sick person. The Prophet ﷺ said that on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would say to a person, "Oh, so-and-so, I was sick and you did not visit me." And a person would say, "Ya Allah, how could I visit you? You know, how could you be sick? How could I visit you?" And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Didn't you know that so-and-so was sick? And that had you went to see him, you would have found me with him." And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only mentioned his being with the sick person. There's an extent, the hadith is longer than that and talks about different people with different needs. But particularly with the sick person, you would have found me with him, subhanAllah, when you went to visit him. And the Prophet ﷺ encouraged this practice, and this is a practice that's much rewarded. If you have a person who's disabled, if you know someone who's disabled, there's a reward in visiting that person. There's a reward in caring for that person. Okay, so if, especially if that person is in your house, let's say that you have a child. Imagine you're getting that reward every single day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with that person. Particularly, I really want to address the parents in particular that have had to deal with a disabled child. Don't you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees your sacrifices? If Allah praises the sacrifice of parents for children that don't have autism and don't have disabilities and things of that sort, what about a parent of an autistic child? And Allah knows how much sacrifice you make. Don't you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees that and Allah will reward you for that? And understand, especially those who have someone perhaps with an even more serious disability where they're completely ma'adhur. The pen has been lifted from them. They're not even accountable for their actions anymore. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a person of Jannah to care for. You have a person of Jannah, a person who's sinless, under your care. Wouldn't you love to care for that person so that perhaps on the Day of Judgment they can intercede on your behalf and say that my mother took care of me when no one else would take care of me, even though I couldn't offer her anything in return. My mother, my father, my brother, my sister, so-and-so took care of me and loved me and showed me compassion. You have a person of Jannah under your care. What more do you want from this life than to have someone from Jannah under your care that you can care for and on the Day of Judgment can intercede on your behalf? But certainly as a community we need to adjust our attitude, inshallah ta'ala, towards this topic, and we need to start coming up with initiatives to take care of disabled people and also try to battle some of those very, very, very insensitive and just ignorance notions that we have from different cultures and stigmas that we have from different cultures. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us to have the open hearts to care for those that are in need, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to join us with those that are close to Him and beloved to Him on the Day of Judgment and make us amongst them. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hi, good morning. What's your name? Can I know which faculty are you from?
Hi, I'm Joanna Locke. I'm from Faculty of Business.
I'm Mayan. I'm from Faculty of Law.
Well, I'm Naiji Shasmantai and I'm from Faculty of Law.
Do you know about JKM?
I'm sure everyone knows about JKM. It's Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. As a Malaysian, it's created by the government. In English, it's called Department of Social Services. And for what I've known, JKM is basically this department where they help the unfortunate in Malaysia. So it's basically a place where they can help the unfortunate, such as disabled people, orphans, and also the elderly.
Well, I think the relationship between JKM and the disabilities are to assist the disabilities and to provide support financially, not just financially, but mentally support for them, not just to provide a roof up on their head and etc.
Around us, from what I've seen, there are definitely okay toilets. There's also somehow minivans if ever they need transportation, and also railways, ramps if ever for the disabled. For the elderly, the wheelchair provided in shopping malls. And
like disabled parking lots, OKU toilets, and then wheelchair ramps.
I think there's a couple of facilities available. But especially as you can see in MMU, we have the bridge that just recently built for the disability people with the wheelchair and such. And it's quite a good effort. Yeah.
Due to the fact that there are facilities, there are things that are given to the disabled, but honestly, in my opinion, they're not receiving the kind of treatment that they should deserve. As an OKU, sure, you might have a disability, but it's not going to stop you from getting work. But in Malaysia, once you're seen you have an OKU, they look down onto you. So it's definitely not well protected in Malaysia, in my opinion.
No, because they are not access to the public transportation like bus, and beside the government, the private sector should also provide amenities to to cater their needs. Yeah.
Well, I think yes, but it's not enough, especially as you can see from the act, the disability, Persons with Disabilities Act. Yeah, so I think that's an act itself, but there's need to be some reformation and any kind of, changes lah.
I think yes, because according to what I heard, it's like if a psychiatrist, they consider a person as OKU, as mental disorder, then that person would be OKU. So something like this.
Well, it depends on whether they're born with it or maybe like they develop it later on during later stages in life or something. So it really depends.
Yes, because I think that those people who don't have the ability to think logically, they cannot merge with other people who is normal, and this makes them cannot combine with the society to carry out the work together.
I think maybe because got one service is called Home Health Service. It help the OKU for like giving them food and drinks and go to their house and visit them, something like this.
I think most probably yes, because as I think from the infrastructure provided by the JKM, and for example, such like the parking lot provided for the OKU, and I have found that for some infrastructure service like KTM, they have the line of low ways like it's a yellow line, and this is provided for the blind man to work, for the blind man to count on it, and they can work throughout the land and they know where to go.
I'm not really sure because I don't really keep up with the JKM, so I'm pretty sure they need to like create more awareness so other people could be aware, because I don't really think, if you go around, I don't really think people really know what the JKM really does, yeah.
I think maybe they need to provide the more facilities for the OKU, like parking area and also the toilet, and also like make them convenient. Yeah, the facilities.
I think the JKM can provide more campaigns for raising the social awareness toward this group of OKU, for like calling the society to provide some job opportunity for this OKU group, because I think most of the OKU they did have the ability to work, but only they don't have the opportunity, because maybe some of the employer hesitate for providing this job opportunity because maybe they will feel like maybe they will miss out or something lah.
I think you can make more parkings for the OKU, or like have vans to transport these people, because like some of them they can't drive, or their family members might be busy and stuff. They might have to like go from one place to another, so it's kind of hard for them. But if they have this kind of van or something, they can easily go from one place to another if there's an emergency, let's say. Yeah.
Thank you for today.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm the administrator and co-owner also of this place, of this center, and we have started the center in the year 2000, which makes it 19 years old as of now. As of today, we have 21. We call them children because of their mental capacity, but actually their ages, they're all grown up with us, so their ages are all mostly in their teens and 20s and 30s, and the oldest is 42.
Is this center under JKM care?
Yes. We have the JKM license, and for us to get the JKM license, we need to have approval from the Majelis, the Bomber, the Kesihatan, the Majelis for the signboard thing, for the house, everything. Okay, in the beginning it was just personal funds. That means our own money and some friends helped us here and there. And we had at that time, we had a little boy, Chong Wei Lin, who had a hole in the heart. So when we approached the newspapers, the Star and all that, they highlighted this problem. And a lot of people came to know about the center, and a lot of people also started to donate and things like that. So actually, most of our operating costs is subsidized by the public.
Did JKM give any kind of sponsorship to this center?
Money-wise, no, but individually, few children are getting from the Melaka Tengah JKM. Because JKM, different areas, their parents have to apply for it. Just like we have children from Sarapan, KL, Muar, Tampin. So that areas, they have to apply there. They cannot, come to take from letter, no.
So their parents,
We are private, we don't charge any fee from the family because most of them are from single parent homes or from poor backgrounds. So they cannot afford. We don't have much internal problems, maybe 20s, in the early 20s or late 20s, things like that. But very rarely you see these people live until 50 or more like that.
do their parents actually come and visit them?
Hardly. Yes, they beginning when they first put them here, they will come. They will come maybe 1 month once or 3 months once. But over time, slowly they just they just wash hands and then they even change their phone numbers. They not purposely change. I mean, sometimes they change their phone numbers, but they don't inform us.
Then like the population of these children here, like how many of them are like Chinese, Malay, Indian?
No, Chinese we have 10, and then Indians we have 9, and then Malays we have 9, and Indians we have 3.
So do you all treat them like differently according to their religion?
No. Here our policy is our main objective is to look after them, to care for them. There is no race, there's no religion, and there's no status.
What are their schedules for those children? Like what do they do on a daily basis?
Okay, daily morning 7 o'clock they start bathing the children. They start bathing all of them. It's not easy because they all are big like our size and all that. To carry them, they all mostly cannot walk. So carry them to the bath area, bathe them, they change them, and then put them. And every day we change their bed sheets. So it's not about how we change 2 weeks once or whatever. It's every day it's been changed for hygiene purposes. So we after bath time it's breakfast. After breakfast they rest. Now you see them they rest. About 10 o'clock we give them plain water or juice, sometimes jelly and things like that. Then 11:30 is their main lunch, the afternoon lunch. Why we start early is because by the time they finish it will be a bit late. So about 12:30, 12:15 like that. Because the workers also need to have their breakfast in the morning and then lunch also. So 1 o'clock is plain water normally because they don't like to drink water. We have to force it down them. So 1 o'clock is water. Then 3 o'clock is tea time, tea or juices or biscuits and all that. Then in between this 2 o'clock is changing of diapers. See, we have changing of diapers quite often. 10 o'clock, 10:30 is also changing of diapers. 2 o'clock also changing of diapers. 4 o'clock is also changing of diapers. And then 5:30 is dinner time. And then after dinner around 6:30 again change pampers, make everything all perfect for the night shift workers.
The children here normally they are some mental disabilities.
Their problems are mental and physical. And each child is not one problem. Like one child can have a lot of problems. Like they are not only mentally, they're not in the age, and then they are blind, and then they can't speak. They got epilepsy. You know what's epilepsy? Epilepsy. So one child got lots of problems. So ours are very severe. We are in the severe category. That is why nurses, training nurses from the hospital or from other nursing colleges, they want to come and do a 2-week nursing thing in our center because ours are quite severe. We have to find ways how to get them to be quiet, to be calm, to eat, encourage them. And if really they don't want to eat that food, then we substitute it for ensure milk or Milo or something. Sometimes they don't have the appetite to eat. Okay, we substitute for something, but we don't need their stomach hungry. Form to help the center to help us continue and to help us maintain is financial help. Yes, because finances, our budget per month is about 27,000. So that is a bit tough for us to meet monthly. So that amount is because of the position, the severity of the children. They cannot do nothing because of the soft wages. Even our electricity bill, all the rooms are air conditioned. So electricity bill alone comes to 2K. Diapers come to about 3,000 something. Sometimes people ask what they want, we tell. They want this, we want that. But if they need to buy it, this is the amount they need to buy. Then mostly they concentrate on government-run centers. A private one, they only make sure we are following the rules. They will come and check how we do, like people in the kitchen or cooking must have those batches there, is it? And then we must have fire hydrants and then all this stuff. They make sure we have all this done. But other than that, I don't know. I also cannot for them. We also don't know their guidelines.
Just like you mentioned, the preparation of food, right? Considering that they're actually Muslim children, you just prepare like halal food.
Everything here has to be halal because the workers are also Malays, and then the children also everybody.
Alright, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I don't know whether I should call it even a job because it's not even a job. It is a very nice life to spend with the children here, to be with them, and this is a good place, Good vibes, good. Even when I go for holiday, I wait to come back, Yeah, because it's a good place. I don't know, y'all can feel it. It's a good place. Yeah.